News at 11.
Global
US
News
Vice President Kamala Harris said too many innocent Palestinians have been killed in Gaza as Israeli warplanes and artillery bombarded the enclave on Saturday following the collapse of a truce with Hamas. Residents fear the barrages presage an Israeli ground operation in the south of the Palestinian territory that would pen them into a shrinking area and possibly try to push them across into Egypt. Speaking in Dubai, Harris said international and humanitarian law must be respected and too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. Following that, civilians in Gaza need to be protected even though the Israel-Hamas conflict seems endless. The opinion was voiced by the Secretary of Defense of the United States, Lloyd Austin, who emphasized to Israeli leaders that protecting Palestinian civilians in Gaza is the best moral and strategic responsibility. Austin, in a speech at the Reagan National Defense Forum in California, also urged the Israeli regime to expand humanitarian aid access to Gaza. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron warned Israel that if the Zionist regime remained to eliminate Hamas, it risked triggering a decade-long war. According to Macron, Israel needs to define its objectives and desired end state more precisely. In addition, efforts to achieving a lasting ceasefire also needs to be improved. In the meantime, since the ceasefire ended last Friday, at least 193 Palestinians have been killed. According to the Ministry of Health in Gaza, the figure makes the number of Palestinian victims who died in the attacks of the regime's forces increase to more than 15,000 people. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Saturday the war against Hamas in the Gaza Strip would continue until we achieve all its aims, including returning all Israeli hostages and eliminating the Saif group. In his press conference, since the expiry on Friday of a 7-day pause in the fighting with Hamas, he said their soldiers prepared during the days of the truce for total victory against Hamas. Meanwhile, the Israeli army continues to exchange fire with Hezbollah fighters across the Israel-Lebanon border. The attack was claimed as a protest against the collapse of the ceasefire in Gaza. The Iranian-backed Hezbollah army reported that some of its posts near the border had been bombed by the Israeli regime, with one of their fighters killed in the attack. The head of the municipal council in the border village of Kfar Kela in southern Lebanon said several houses were hit by Israeli bullets. So far, there is no information about the victims involved. A powerful magnitude 7.6 earthquake struck the southern Philippines on Saturday, triggering fears of a possible tsunami as big aftershocks rumbled in the area. The U.S. Geological Survey said the initial quake struck at the depth of 32 kilometers at 10:37 p.m. local time, about 21 kilometers northeast of Hinatuan Municipality on Mindanao Island. Several hours later, early on Sunday, two powerful aftershocks of magnitude 6.4 and 6.2 shook the region following the first quake. The initial quake triggered tsunami warnings and orders for coastal residents to flee to higher ground. Kyiv accused Russia on Saturday of committing a war crime by executing Ukrainian soldiers who had signaled their intention to surrender. A short video posted on Telegram shows two men coming out of a shelter, one with his hands above his head before lying on the ground in front of another group of soldiers. This is followed by what appears to be gunfire and smoke appears before the video cuts off abruptly. But neither the location nor the authenticity could be confirmed. Ukraine's human rights ombudsman Dmytro Lubyanets denounced the events as a war crime. And finally, a person known to the French authorities with mental health troubles stabbed a German tourist to death and wounded two people in central Paris on Saturday before being arrested. The attack took place close to the Eiffel Tower during a busy late weekend night and came with the country on its highest alert for attacks as tensions rise against the background of the war between Israel and Hamas. President Emmanuel Macron said he was sending his condolences to the family of the German killed in the terrorist attack. French anti-terror prosecutors said they would now take on the investigation. And that was World News at 11, prepared by Alif Harris. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Malaysia Madani dekat perpaduan penuhi harapan. Wishing you a pleasant Sunday and good morning. Salam Malaysia Madani.